Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bushfire is a fire burning in the bush, and that fire is very difficult to control and usually spreads quickly. Some of the most horrible bushfires of Australia are Black Tuesday 1967 in Tasmania, in which 64 people lost their lives. Ash Wednesday 1983 in Victoria and South Australia, in which approximately 75 people were killed. Black Saturday 2009 in Victoria, which killed almost 173 people and about 4 lakh hectare area were burned. Australia is one of those countries where bushfire is very common. Eastern Australia is one of the most fire-prone regions of the world, and its eucalyptus forests are predominant among others. Australia is no stranger to bushfires. However, the 2019 to 2020 proved to be the unprecedented in many ways, and this season known as Black Summer, a period of unusual intense bushfires in many parts of Australia, which began before the arrival of spring in June 2019, and then afterwards new out of control fires sprung up at the beginning of September 2019 due to the prolonged drought, climate change, lightning strike, low level of rainfall which was less than 1.9 inches, and increasing of temperature up to 41 degrees Celsius. A wave of heavy rainfall in the mid of January 2020 finally brought relief in some areas hit by bushfires, but unfortunately, not all the areas were extinguished. From September 2019 to March 2020, fire strongly struck various regions of the state of New South Wales. In eastern and northeastern Victoria, large areas of forests were continuously burned out of control for about 4 weeks. Multiple states of emergency were declared across New South Wales, Victoria, and Australian Capital Territory. The majority of deaths and destruction were occurs in New South Wales. In some areas, fire spreads rapidly due to the strong winds, which also causes the massive destruction. This dreadful and fatal bushfire burned the area of approx 46 million acres, which is more or less same area as the entire country of Syria. At least 3,500 homes and thousands of other buildings were lost. 34 people died directly and 445 people died indirectly due to the smoke inhalation. More than 1 billion mammals, birds, and reptiles were died. After the calamitous 12 months of Australian bushfire in May 2020, this wreckful bushfire extinguished.
Causes of bushfires. Australian continent lies in the southern hemisphere during the month of December, February and January. It is the summer in the southern hemisphere because the southern hemisphere is exposed to more direct light. Bushfire can originate from both human activities and natural causes. Drought. Bushfire risks exacerbated by record of breaking drought, very dry fuel soils and record breaking heat. Bushfire conditions are now more dangerous than in the past. The country is experiencing one of the worst drought in decades and heat waves in December. This map shows the prolonged drought condition in this region. Lightning. About half of all fires caused by lightning. The rest deliberately or accidentally are lit. The main cause of fire ignitions of Australia's bushfire is dry lightning from thunderstorms that do not produce rain over the long term. Climate change is raising the likelihood of extreme wildfire, a risk Australian scientists have been warning about for years. Pollution. Car emissions, chemicals from factories, dust may be suspended as particles. These particles eventually fall back to Earth and cause global warming, which is caused by increasing greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases are carbon monoxide and sulfur dioxide. It traps the solar heat rays and prevents it from escaping from the surface of the Earth. This is caused the temperature of the Earth increasing. Hot climate. Northern Hemisphere, here the seasons are reversed, so the hottest month in Australia are December, January and February. Global warming is the average temperature of the earth has increased since 1915 until now the temperature continuing increasing. Warming can also refer to climate change that cause an increase in the average of temperature. However, global warming are causes by natural events and human that are believed to be contribute to increase in average temperatures. Causes of global warming. The climate has continuously changing for centuries. The global warming happens because the natural rotation of the sun that changes the intensity of sunlight and moving closer to the earth. Climate change. Climate influence. Temperature and rise the wildfire risk by 30%. New research suggests the recent record breaking heat in southeastern Australia, which is linked to climate change, help increase the region fire risks by at least 30%. Bushfires are the result of the combination of weather and vegetation, which act as a fuel for the fire. Together with a way for the fire to being most commonly due to the lightning strike and sometimes human influence. Depending on weather conditions, embers can be transported by winds from one location to another, causes new fires for spotting. Plant species. Example of highly flammable plants include ornamental juniper, rosemary, eucalyptus, and some ornamental grasses. Most plant species are burned in Australia is eucalyptus trees, but eucalyptus trees can exacerbates deadly fires. Their sap is flammable, and so is their bark, which flies off when burned, initiating new fires up to 100 yards away. Eucalyptus trees cannot spontaneously combust as they do not have a flash point. Blue gum eucalyptus is one of the most fire intensive plants. Australian consists of dense forest and dominating eucalyptus species.
The impact of recent catastrophic bushfire in Australia. 2019 Australian bushfire season Black Summer fire occurred during a period of record-breaking temperature and extremely low rainfall. To understand the impact of climatic value, we conduct a preliminary analysis of 2019 bushfire season and compared it with the fire season between March 2000 and March 2020 in the state of New South Wales. Victoria and South Australian were asked to Forest and Fire Management to provide data on the number of fire burned area, life and houses loss as well as weather conditions. Physical direct impact. Over 18 million hectares have burned in Australia and bushfire season 2019 of mid-January, according to media report of destroying over 5,900 buildings, over 2,800 homes. Ongoing ecological and biodiversity impact. After initial devastation of the fire, impacts are ongoing and estimated billions animals and many more bats and insects are likely to die, with over 1 billion species currently facing extinction. Public health. As a result of intense smoke and air pollution stemming from the air, fire do not only cause physical harm, many people experience mental trauma form. According to World Health Organization, and older people, old people with cardiorespiratory disease or chronic illness, children and people who work outdoor are particularly vulnerable. Economic cost. The price tag of Australian economy is still being analysed, but it's clear that infrastructure has been damaged and that impact to industries such as farming and tourism. Some businesses and institutions have been forced to close their doors during period of excessive level of air pollution. Agricultural impact. The bushfire have scorched pasture, destroyed livestock and raised vineyard, with regrowth and recovery likely to stage water resources already challenged by drought. Report indicated that the country daily supply will likely be hit hardest, with Victoria and New South Wales. Meat, wool and honey output may also be impacted. In some dryland area, increased land surface, air temperature and evapotranspiration and decreased precipitation amount. In interaction and with climate variability and human activities have contributed to desertification. These areas include Australia.
Smoke from fires has become a major hazard and can travel up to great distances. It is often pushed in the stratosphere by the heat from fires. Satellite image showed the spread of smoke from fires in Victoria and New South Wales, which has affected air quality as far away as New Zealand. Firefighters on their duties while extinguishing fire. Thousands of firefighters were battle places across Australia, and they had been on the ground across the country during the worst period. According to the country's state fire services, most has been in the worst states of New South Wales and Victoria. Firefighting trucks and heavy plant equipment had been used. Extinguisher fire by water sprays, sky cranes and helicopters can be used to firebomb water onto fires. They refill the water from river and it looked like a giant dragonfly above the water and sucking up to 9,000 liters of water in a second, and a great counter of water hitting the smoke with an astonishing accuracy. It can reduce the size of fires before the wind becomes lighter and slow down the rate of fire spreads. This is seen in this video. By spraying of wet chemical fire extinguishers stamp out the fire by removing the heat of the fire triangle and even prevent reignition. Half of the island of Australia's southern coast has gone up in flames. Many volunteers work to save wildlife, including some of the 450 military personnel deployed on the island to help with the recovery effort, are tasked with looking for animals in distress. Rain has fallen in Fire River part of Australia and temperatures have dropped, but officials have warned that blazes will take off again. The rains will bring some relief to the region's overworked firefighters who have been battling the wildfires non-stop. It has also helped to reduce the amount of smoke that has causing severe air quality issues in nearby cities. The image shows the condition of before and after devastating wildfire season. Last year was Australia's hottest and driest year in 120 years, but these forests are slowly recovering after months of devastating wildfires, and finally the wildfires extinguished up to more than 250 days, and now small signs of hope emerge as new shoots sprout across trees, a signal of good news and a testament to the resilience of nature. Thank